Um, hey everyone, welcome back to ITP-460. Sorry that I got cold, flu maybe I think. Not tested positive yet from COVID. So, but to keep you from viruses, I'm couldn't come in today. It's my pleasure to have Professor Annabelle to come in and cover me in this class. Very last minute. I asked a couple of days ago, but Professor Annabelle had extensive background on product design and had done a product design guest lecture for me in the past as well. I stole her slides for those of you who previewed the class slides from last lecture. So it's my honor to have her join us today to give everybody a lecture about product design. As I mentioned earlier, why it keeps zooming in on that side. Um, me talking. So, as I mentioned a little bit earlier last week, product design it's a very nice topic to touch upon during the entire capstone class. So this is one of a kind experience. I want all of you to have a hands-on experience. So, yep, thank you very much. I will leave it to Professor Annabelle. By the end of the lecture, I will talk about the class project. So I'll be here.
Okay, cool. Thank you for the introduction, Bo. So hi, everyone. My name is Annabelle. I am a part-time lecturer for ITP. My full-time job is marketing at USC. Some background about me is that I graduated from USC. Every year, it feels, well, further into the past, so every year I feel older, but I graduated from USC, and then during that time, I did the ITP Web Dev minor, and I became a TA for ITP Web Dev. So I've done all of ITP Web stuff, and yeah, now I'm a professor for ITP Web Dev. Yeah, if you ever have questions about ITP, feel free to hit me up because I know a little bit too much about it. From student to TA to professor, literally the whole thing, except dean, but who needs to know about deans anyway? All right, so today we will be doing product design. It is a very fun lecture. I personally think it's the funnest lecture, other than, well, there was one that does Lego building, but I don't know if you guys have done that or will be doing that, but this is a second best option. So anyway, we're gonna be doing product design today. We'll have some in-class activity, and then after that, Bo will wrap it up with your assignments, and then we'll be off for the evening. Cool? All right, so let's begin. So this is today's agenda. We'll cover what is product design, what's design thinking, the design process. We're gonna have an in-class exercise. I'll tell you guys about the design sprint and how that usually works. I have some insights and advice at the end, and then we'll just go through your assignments. Okay, cool. So product design. Product design is the process of identifying an opportunity. So, you got to find that hole in the market or whatever it is that you're working on, what that problem is, find that opportunity, define that problem, and then figure out a solution that can solve it. After that, you must validate your solution because a solution to you may work in your head, but it may not actually work in real life. The latest example I currently have, if you follow gaming stuff, is they announced the PlayStation 5 Pro yesterday, and apparently it doesn't come with a disk drive, which means anybody who has a physical disc for their games, they can't play on their PlayStation 5 Pro. So their solution is not the best validated because everybody's fuming about the lack of a disk drive. Sorry, I know these things, so that's the best example I have. But point is, Sony did not do the best job at this. Anyway, clearly they had a solution for the upgrade for their PlayStation 5 Pro, but it was not properly validated. And that's why people are speaking up about it. So that's an example of how you think a solution may work, but then if someone doesn't validate it, people aren't going to react that well. Anyway, so that's product design. So design thinking is an approach to creating products, because you can just create a product, right? But then if your product doesn't appeal to people or nobody finds it useful, then we wasted so much of your hard work and energy. So that's why we always encourage people to do more design thinking, which is a human-centered approach focusing on what people need, what technological limitations there are, and some requirements for success. If your product receives bad reviews once it's out, then clearly something went wrong. Like, what were you missing? What is the need? Did you not fulfill it? Did you not prioritize the biggest need within your audience? So on and so forth. So it's one thing to design a product, it's another to design a product that has your audience in mind. All right, so we always have to think about our audience, our users, what do they want, and how do we help them? Cool. All right, so product design process, it's just a series of steps during your formulation of your product. You can just say like, oh, you can imagine a product, but then it's like, okay, but what are the steps into creating it, right? In this case, if we're doing a web class, it's a web application. So you probably think, okay, what is the product? Let's do some wireframes first to draft it out. Then we're going to start coding it out. Let's look at it throughout, user test it along the way. And then by the end of it, you should have a really full-fledged product. And the product design process is extremely important because it helps you define your product. You don't want to waste your energy designing a product that ends up being a failure. You would want to user test it earlier on and make sure everything works well so that when you put it out, it'll be a successful thing. So during the design process, the two main things is people have to stay focused and stay on schedule, which is extremely hard, but it is what it is. All right, so this is the design process. Again, I probably said some of them already. Defining the product vision, what is your product, what is it trying to achieve? And then you do product research. Does this exist? What currently exists? What are their weaknesses? How can we make it better? User analysis. Who's going to use this? What do they need? What's the target audience? Are these people mostly on their phones? Are these people mostly on their computers? Like, what are we designing? Ideation, obviously, big brain energy, create that. Design, you design it. Testing and validation. So if you have like a prototype product, you may want to have it tested out as early as possible so that you can see what works and what doesn't. And then after that, post-launch activities. So once you have a good product and you're like, all right, round 2, what new features are we adding? And that is post-launch activities. So this is the design process, and you keep going through the circle time and time again. And this is the design process. As for today, we will dive you guys into the design process a little bit, but we will be focusing on user analysis, ideation, and design. So we're going to be doing an activity based on that. Cool. All right. So this is all the stuff you should have. I did cut down the sheets of paper from 4 to 2 because I'm trying to save the trees, but also create an immersive experience. So I had to use some trees. But you should all have a Post-it, a pen, 2 sheets of paper, 5 dot stickers. Tape is for me. So everybody have everything. If you do not, hit up Ja. If you're watching on Zoom, probably you just need a pen and 2 sheets of paper. We will dot stickers for you, and we'll figure it out. But don't worry, we got you, online people. All right, so let's do the first part, user analysis. How many people do we have here? You can either group up or pair up. I trust you guys will figure it out. And we're going to be doing user analysis. So we're gonna interview each other. So I think I'm giving you guys I gave you guys 8 minutes because you gotta find people. You're gonna pair up, group up, I don't mind. Interview each other on the question, what's your challenge as a student to get healthy food on campus? So that's the product that we're going to design today, something that will address this issue. And then for the post-it note, after you're done interviewing them, we want you to summarize everything in one beautiful sentence. So it would be, who needs a way to do what, because, why? So this way it'll help us figure out like what is the biggest problem when it comes to getting healthy food on campus. Here's an example. So Bo is male 33, lecturer and CEO. And he needs to find a way to eat healthy food 5 days a week because 7 days a week of healthy food is too much. And he needs to find a way for healthy food because he finds it difficult to manage some eating habits, and he consumes junk food irregularly. So that is how your post-it note should kind of look like. Maybe not all those words, it can be super simple, but we want to know like what your user's biggest problem is. So here's that question, and please group up, pair up, and then you guys can start chit-chatting, and then write it on your post-it note. Physically write it on your post-it note. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna start a timer.
We do have a class group, and we can break into a class group too if we're okay with a group of 5. Yeah.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna start the timer, and you guys can chit chat, and then write on your post-it note.
Why don't we just use our group Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, and group together in that way?
Okay. This is.
I looked this online and she couldn't access this.
The passcode is called USC Vital.
No, she just need to log in using USC before she can log on to the Zoom. So yeah, she can't use the passcode. The passcode is not for her. It's for yeah. Just ask her to use USC login to log into Zoom before she joins the Zoom link.
There she. Doll, are you in the Zoom room? Yes. Can you join it?
Sure, these tools. Well,
Oops, sorry. I mean, you can still see it. You're fine.
Classes, and my class just literally was like, what is user research about? I just did this. Like there's 3 that I sent you that are like the exact.
yeah, what classes?
ITP-10, and then this one, and then I'm in design 303, which is web design. It's all the same. I don't even know. I'm gonna get them so confused.
Wait, design 303, what is that? Like, what do you, what's your major?
It's for my minor, so that was for communications design minor, and then these 2 are for the web
changes that just heat up rather than like vegetables that I have to like cook and like make. I'd say that
This is supposed to be general,
like my big challenge.
this specific.
So
like,
is it your perspective?
Yeah.
Each of our perspectives as student benefits, like portions. Huge.
I mean, it's expensive.
What are the options on? Or are we not done?
I don't know what else is.
Okay, I guess. That's fine.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that seeds that's like.
That's the hardest part, is I don't think that was the taste good. Then like.
I remember being so excited there was sushi.
The Pokeball, so have you tried?
The only thing I like the like salmon bowls from.
The Law Cafe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my
So
freshman
used to-
year. No, because freshman year I did it with swipes.
Dude, I know, I would have used
Crazy.
So I got, that's why they stopped,
No, I
because
felt bad.
everyone, we just have like 2 people go and bring, like, come back with like 20, like in their dorm. It was so bad.
Yeah, like.
Also like I'm not like. So let's see.
Okay. So who, like, who should be students or like our name?
Yeah.
Each other's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll say like lack of options.
So
Like,
I wish.
that.
Yeah.
I eat
Yeah,
healthy
every option
food.
is like terrible.
Yeah, I usually bring my food from home.
Like we all live off campus at this point, so.
Yeah.
I'm too broke to.
No,
Exactly.
It's a first few days,
Maybe
I recommend
that's
students.
our biggest challenge, is we can't afford
I don't know.
healthy food on campus.
Right.
Oh,
But it's
okay,
like, what
cool.
is, what product do you
I
have
don't know.
that addresses how much food
Not
costs?
always.
I just wrote,
So it's like
students
next
like to
level.
eat more healthy foods
In general.
because it costs more and it's less convenient.
It's like
So,
a
like,
new
that's what I
store
eat.
that sells healthy food that's not a disgusting price.
That's idealistic.
That would be
Do that.
great.
I would love that. It's called My Kitchen.
It's not very good taste. I use the same like 5 ingredients.
Um,
Why do we need to eat healthy? Or no, why do we need to?
um, This is good for our brains as students.
Energy. I'm not-
I feel like for my problem, I guess, like everyone like wants to eat healthy food, but like we only have one fridge, but we have 5 people living on like
Yeah,
using
yeah.
the same fridge.
I had that last year, there was like 6 of us living in an apartment.
Yeah,
and
and like literally the fridge can't fill.
you can't fit it. And they like leave like fruit in the back that get
Oh
blocked.
my gosh, by the
Yeah,
end
like,
of the
nobody
year, I
remembers
feel like
that.
all student like fridges are actually fine.
It's
People just
so
forget about
gross.
stuff.
Plus, like everyone has like their ketchup, like so we have 5 ketchup and 5.
I
like,
usually
milk.
share like condiments.
You guys don't share condoms.
You have 5
Just
ketchups.
5 ketchup.
How do you even know which ones you use?
Literally. So we randomly, normally we write like names on the cap.
Oh, the ketchup.
Like,
All of us.
So space. So space.
Yeah.
So healthy foods that don't take up a lot of space.
What the heck? Like astronaut food? Like space food.
I
Freeze
don't think
dried.
that's healthy though.
What's my issue?
Oh, sometimes I'm too lazy.
Fresh
Mm.
foods.
Okay, this is everyone's
Also,
problem.
the bad really.
We all share the same
You
issue.
have to like
Yeah.
know what you're gonna do like
Yeah.
right
I
away.
need it to be like
Yeah.
quick.
So I guess that falls
Yeah.
under less convenient.
Yeah, it's true. I only have like 10 minutes between
Yeah.
class sometimes, like 30 minutes sometimes. I need to be cheap.
I wish they would add
Basically
something in the
fast
food that was
food,
like.
but
And like,
So.
I found some frozen microwave
It's not like
meals
salmon
from
or
Trader
anything
Joe's, pop it in
like
the
that.
microwave.
Yeah.
And that's like
those are
really
sometimes
good.
kind of healthy.
Yeah, those
Sometimes
are
it's
such
good.
random like
We should do a microwave restaurant hot bar.
And like, I like.
Yeah,
I like
where you
dulce,
grab
like,
your
I like
frozen
the
food and
sandwich
you
stuff,
pop it into
but
the
I think
microwave, you go to
everything
the other side, you pick it up.
I don't wanna have a sandwich.
Yeah, it's just like a.
Cheap.
I just tried city taco the first time.
Did you like it?
I liked it.
I don't like it.
Okay, that's
Okay.
not the
Well, I
point.
got
This
they
is
did like
the-
mashed potatoes and.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
no, I didn't get it, but just like, I don't know, I'd rather go to
Student
the.
than like literally what they said.
Oh, yeah,
That
that's
needs to
it.
find
That's
a
it.
cheap
Yeah.
source of
Yeah.
quickly between classes.
So are we
Found it.
like making up names now?
We
Or-
have 30 seconds
Waiting for
left.
the spell.
Post-it notes should have words on it.
That's
Come
the
on,
last one.
guys.
I wrote name.
Yeah.
Oh.
For name.
Ben
And it's a taco place where study hall used to be.
Oh.
It's fine.
Way to eat.
I just gave like 2 pans of spinach and that's my vegetable.
On campus. The frozen or.
All right. Time is up.
Frozen spinach.
All right.
Cool.
Here it goes.
Really?
Actually, need to disable this real quick. Okay, you have your post-it notes with words on them?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Turn this off real quick. Let me turn on this light. Turn on this light. The world hates me. Oh, there. I have to click the word on. Nice. All right, okay, so let's take turns really quickly reading out your post-it notes because that way we figure out what the problem is. So whoever wants to start, I will not be peer pressuring anybody to start reading. I'm gonna read the ones online, but you're gonna be next. So. All right, Zenya needs to find affordable, healthy food on campus because USC offers limited options that are reasonable. Aren't reasonable or are reasonable. Well, they type are, but I think they meant aren't. Let's see, okay. Aren't reasonable everyday prices. Okay, so let's just say prices. So that's a cost thing. Oh my god, my handwriting's horrible. So we have one for cost, and because I'm not putting their post-it note on. All right, James, because he has a packed schedule with classes and a part-time job, leaving little time to prepare meals. All right, that is time issue, right? So no time to find it. So that's another one. All right, Faith. Affordable because food options at USC are expensive. Okay, so that is cost again. So we have two for cost, one for time, and then the last one online. And then I'm peer pressuring all of you. Actually needs to find a way to make healthier food better affordable option because college students are more likely to reach for unhealthy foods such as fast food because it's faster and easier. All right, so just unavailability. So I'll put that as an accessibility issue. All right, so we'll call it access. All right, cool. All right, that's all the online people. All right, let's start reading them out. Sure.
Ben needs to find a way to eat quick, cheap, and healthy food on campus between classes because he is broke in money and time.
Broke in money and time. All right. Broke in money and time.
Like broke in both money and broken time.
Okay. Which one would you consider as
Which am I broker in?
Huh?
I'm broker in money.
Yeah, broker in money. So let's do cost. So I will be grabbing this. We'll do cost. So we have one for cost, another one for cost. All right, next. Yeah.
Mateo needs a way to eat healthy food at an affordable price on campus because the prices of healthy food on campus are way too high.
All right, prices. Okay. Next.
I'll go.
Sure.
Christina, a busy senior, needs fast food, fast and healthy food, because they don't have time. So that can be made and consumed in 10 minutes. So time.
Time. Okay. Put it in the time column. All right, next.
Cynthia is a busy college student who only has one fridge, so limited space to store healthy food. So she needs a quick and cheap healthy option.
All right. I'm debating either accessibility or time because I'm thinking if we had small portions, then it would lead to the storage. What would or
Do accessibility.
accessibility? Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that was a unique thing. I was okay. All right, next. Sure.
Nicole needs a way to access healthy food options in a timely manner because as a student with a packed schedule, she does not have time to wait.
All right, time. Okay, next.
Yeah, I would do mind, but are we supposed to write? Were we supposed to write about ourselves or the person we were interviewing?
Doesn't matter really. I mean, ideally the person you're interviewing, but
Okay.
it can be an internal reflection.
Yeah, I'll just put my name here.
Person needs.
Yeah. A person needs a way to get affordable food in a timely manner because being a student is busy. But it'll be fine.
Time.
Yeah.
All right. Time. All right, next.
Telling USC student needs a way to find more healthy options on campus because there isn't much outside.
Okay, repeat that again.
Tony needs needs a way to find more healthy options on campus because there isn't many outside of fast food.
Okay, accessibility. Yeah, accessibility. I misspell accessibility. It's a two S.
Two C.
It's two C's, right?
This is-
This is
Oh, that's just, aces.
yeah. There. I'm so
That's
out of it. Anyway, next.
Nick needs better access to low price healthy food because our current healthy options are expensive.
All right. Would you put that as cost? Because you mentioned,
Yeah.
okay. Right, next.
Nina needs to eat more healthy foods because right now it costs more and is less convenient. Was leaning more towards convenience / time when writing it.
Okay,
So,
time?
Yeah.
All right. Next.
Jen is a broke college student who needs cheaper options that won't break her bank.
All right. We all know where that one's going. All right, so so we can see based on this, there's 3 for accessibility, 5 for time, 6 for cost. So based on this user analysis, we can tell this is the biggest problem, which is cost. Second biggest problem is time. And then third is accessibility, either from limited options or space or there's nothing nearby. Okay, so that's your user analysis. This is a good first glance at what the issue is and where the pain point is at most. Cool. All right, so I need to show my slides again. Cool, and I need to do this. All right. Okay, cool. And now let's move on from user analysis to ideation. We're going to be doing another exercise called the Crazy Eights. So you're going to be using for one of your sheets of paper. You can fold it into 8 sections, but if you believe you can just visualize those 8 boxes, go ahead. We're going to give you 8 minutes, and the goal is that in those 8 minutes, you're going to draw a frame of each solution you can think of. So 8 frames, average 1 minute per frame. And you should think of a solution towards mostly cost, since that was the biggest problem that everybody has mentioned. But you can also kind of think about time and accessibility alongside, but like potential solutions on like a product that can help solve that healthy food issue on campus. So when you run out of ideas, you can think of the worst ones because, hey, sometimes the worst ideas can inspire you for the best ideas. So anything can happen. And why we chose 8 minutes is because you're fast on your feet, you panic, and you think best when you do that. All right, so we're gonna do that. Here's an example of how some Crazy Eights look like. So you're gonna be doing that. I'm gonna hit the word timer and you guys are gonna start drawing. So go. Go, draw, go. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so everybody have their 8 frames, ideally, mostly 8. I'm just gonna assume you guys did do it. All right, cool. So now feel free to look at your work, admire the beauty, consider framing it, and then putting it in your room or giving it to your parents as, you know, a momentum. But based on what you've drawn, pick a solution that you like the most and flesh it out. Because again, like you've seen like some really bad ideas, maybe you have some good ones, maybe you're like, oh, I like this part of frame 1 and this part of frame 3. You can pick a solution that you really like the most, and now you're gonna flesh it out. Okay, so the next part is where you're gonna use your second piece of paper. It is a 3-panel storyboard. Please write your name on it because we're all gonna be sharing it and we're putting it on this board. So we want you to own up to your amazing artwork. So pick your best idea from your crazy eights, draw it into a 3-panel storyboard. There's gonna be a sample in the next slide. You're gonna have 15 minutes to really flesh it out. Think about that user journey. Like in this case, we're doing like a food app. So we can think about the home screen. Like, do we want like a list for options? Do we want a map or something? And what's the next screen? The product page or the menu page? And then what is the next page after that? Like the order page, the checkout page? Like, let's think about all of that within the user journey. So you have 15 minutes. Your 3-panel storyboard should be a little bit self-explanatory to the point where if I look at it, I'll be like, oh, I know what type of screen this is, like where I am in the user journey. So we're gonna flesh out your best idea. You're gonna have 15 minutes. This is an example of how something should look like. For example, this is like the product page where it's listing out every single product. This is the product's singular detail page, where you can read details about it. And then look, this is like the checkout page. So it'll be like, oh, you want to buy it? Like this is a user journey example. So you're gonna have 15 minutes to do one really good idea on this healthy food app. And remember to write your name.
Just show me one idea.
Me too. Like
It's
a
more
vending
ideas,
machine.
but you're supposed to flesh it out now.
It's kind of funny. I drew a fun ones. I guess that's the idea.
Alright, cool. Okay. Oh, you have your storyboard and your name on it. Yeah, write your names. Alright, so now we're gonna do. Oh, this. Alright, so. So now that you guys have your storyboards, you're all gonna take turns just quickly, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute max, like tell us about your storyboard, just quick pitch. And then we're gonna tape it on the board. All right. Point of this is because sometimes like one person may have one idea, another person may have another idea, and then we can figure out, we're like, oh wait, I like your idea better, but I like this idea of mine, I like that person's idea of that. And then this is where we combine everything. So our biggest goal is that everybody pitches in their ideas, and then we're gonna see what we like the most. All right? All right, so someone has to volunteer as tribute, and just do a quick explanation to us on what they designed, and main features. So, fun. Sure.
I signed up.
Yeah. John, can you prepare the tape?
Sure. My idea was happy hour for USC like food stuff. So like seeds or the dining halls or whatever, you get like an alert on your phone that's like, oh, there's something available. Then you check the app and you see like, oh, $10 from 4 to 6 at Parkside, or $3 off of the salmon bowl at La Cafe, and then you redeem it. And it's like limited quantity, so you have to be fast. And then yeah.
Cool. Let's stick it on the board. John has tape over there. Just plop it on. We're creating a gallery. All right, next. You're all gonna have to come up eventually. Sure.
Okay. I did like Trojan meal prep. So then on the app, you can just search up any campus foods. And then you have to choose, like you have to commit to ordering at least 3 for the week. And then you can check out. And then once you check out, it'll apply like a discount. So it won't be like full price. And that's it.
Okay, cool. Alright, next.
Okay, so my idea was that there'd be like vending machines in like as many buildings as possible around campus that would have like salads or like hopefully more like shelf stable, maybe healthy foods. And so you'd like choose which building it is, or maybe like, I don't know, there'd be something to like scan to like go through it easier, then choose what you want. And then like ideally this would be in a world where USC would be like, oh, we prioritize our kids being healthy, so let's subsidize this and make it more discounted. Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's keep going.
I was thinking like if there's less options, they can buy in bulk, so it'll just be overall cheaper. So like a weekly, menu that changes weekly, but like only 4 or 5 options. And then it's like, since there is less food, there's like 5 or 4 locations on campus. So you check out and then you pick which location, and then it'll have like an estimated pickup time, and then just notify you like 5 minutes before.
So my app, you can select like stores around or on USC that you can order food from and they're all tagged, so you know like what type of food you're trying to order, and then based on that, the more items you order from the same store, you get like a certain discount value that like kind of grows up the more you fill your cart. So buying more items in a week for like your entire like apartment or something will give you a higher discount.
Okay, so my idea is that you can select from like dining halls or restaurants on campus. And then once you select one, there's the menu, and then these are the people that can get you in. So especially those like freshmen or sophomore, they have a lot of meal plans and they just gotta like use it towards the end. But now they can just like give it away to junior or seniors.
We give away their swipes.
Literally.
Okay.
Basically.
I've done that.
So you can choose these people and they can like pair you up like from a major or something. So basically like a dating app. And then you can choose the time and meet like these restaurant places and pay them like $5 or something.
Dating food app.
So many of those foods are tasty.
My app is basically just Groupon, but for you on campus stuff. And it's powered by, like, you pick a coupon, and ideally the healthier stuff is bigger discount, and then it's powered by watching ads. And then you get a
Nice.
free coupon.
Because USC doesn't have enough money, so we need
Yeah.
ads to sponsor us.
And it's like on campus, you know, like on campus, like clubs can promote, you know, yeah.
That's true.
I think that for mine, I was focusing more on cheap than healthy, which whatever, but it's pretty much like Crumble, but for tacos. So like tacos each week, and then you buy 1 or 6.
Yeah.
Why is it taco?
I don't know why tacos.
Why not? Extra deals on Tuesday.
So for my idea, you can choose from a list of stores or grocery stores nearby. And once you choose it, you can see their available products such as produce or dairy or whatever. And you can see their nutrition values and then how much it costs, and you can add it to your grocery list. And then with the stuff that you choose in your grocery list, it'll create recipes for you.
Cool.
Alright, so for mine, basically you can search up like items nearby, and then once you select, like you can compare like the prices, and once you figure out which one you actually want to buy, it kind of shows you where it is on campus or like near campus. Yeah, you can add it to your cart, or you can just begin like a map route to head over there.
Okay, cool. All right, all very cool ideas. I like combining some or stuff. All right, cool. So the last part, I would show my slides, but it would block all of your beautiful design. So the last part would be a dot vote. So you all have 5 dots, as you can tell. And essentially you're gonna walk up, go look at these storyboard panels, and then you're gonna put dot votes on the panels you like the most. So that basically means there's like, how many we have 10? So you have out of the 30 panels, you can pick. So if I'm like, I like the nutritional value idea, but only the nutritional value part. So I like the nutritional value screen, that panel, or I like a map view more. So then maybe I'll put a dot vote for someone who designed the map view more. Does that make sense? So you have 5 in total. So feel free to get out of your chairs, go stretch and walk all the way over there. And look at artwork like it's a museum. It's interactive. You can also use multiple dots on one frame if you feel very strongly about it. It's like, I want to give all my votes to this one.
Just put it on the front. Subway surfer. Oh. Sorry. That's amazing.
Alright, cool. We have all voted. I have not looked at anything. Alright, so. Based on this, we can tell that certain things are more popular than others, so. Such as the congrats screen you got. Mr. Seven. It's gonna be animated. We have Subway Surfer, that is true, we have Subway Surfer, which is also a really good one. Oh, this is the dating profile thing, right? Okay, that one's also pretty popular. Alright, so based on this, as a product team, you guys can vote. We'll find the best idea. And then ultimately though, the product owner, so whoever pays for the app, to be real, the product owner can take a look at all your ideas and then make a final decision. So even if they're like, you know what, I like this one, but this one works more, like the dating app-esque thing works probably better in this market, then maybe they'll end up picking this, even though it may not have the most votes or something. So let's all be mindful about dot votes, which is, as a team, it's great that you guys have honed in on certain things that you like or certain features that you like. But at the end of the day, the product owner has full say on the product, even if it's not great. But hey, subjective thoughts, right? So if I were the product owner, I would get a super vote, which is why my stickers are yellow, because I'm special. And then I could pick like which one I like the most. So in this case, I think the coupon ones is cool because I like that it does focus on cost up front. And I think this is a cute screen at the end. So I was like, okay, like ultimately I was like coupon first. Let's think about the cost. So if so, I would like put my super vote here and then I'll be like, all right, product team, let us hone in on this idea and we'll keep developing from that point forward. But we can always keep like everything else as like inspiration from this point forward. Cool. So that's normally how the design process works. Let me finish up the end of this and then you guys will have your. All right, so we're not gonna do this part. That takes way too much time. In real life, once you guys have kind of figured out what you're gonna be doing, then maybe as a product team, you're gonna start doing a full storyboard. So like literally every single screen that a user would probably see on your app. It's usually 12 to 30 frames. These are wireframes. Then you start building your prototype, which I don't know if you guys had that lecture yet, but that is a lecture that you will learn about. You're gonna user test it and keep honing it in, keep making your product better, and you just keep going. Cool. We're not doing that, don't worry. And yeah, that is normally what a design process looks like. And this is an example of a design sprint that some tech teams really like to use. On Monday, they would do mapping, which we didn't do. Tuesday, they do sketching, which you guys kind of did with your crazy eights and your panels. Wednesday is deciding, which we kind of sort of just did just now. Thursday, you start prototyping. Friday, you do testing. So they just kind of keep doing this every week until they have something really good. And that is an example of the design sprint. All right, here are some wise words for my BFFs because I managed to have friends who actually do this for a living, unlike me who works at USC. And one of my friends said, think about functional design, especially because sometimes like you may think something works, but it may not actually work for your target audience. For example, to me, it's very intuitive to like use technology and talk about technology, but I may have some coworkers who aren't as familiar with technology. So then to me, it's super easy, to them, it's harder. And I have to explain step by step on how to work something on the computer like that. That's just a really typical example of think about your users and think about their needs and if it's approachable for them. Another one is similar, think about like empathy for the users. And think about like what tools you have because you can have a really good idea, but if there's a technological limitation that hinders from this, it may not be possible. So think within what works and what doesn't. And the last one is about finding what works and what doesn't work is critical. We don't always have to strive for the answer. We can also strive for what definitely isn't the answer. All right. That is my cousin's dog. He is my nephew. Sorry, I just really love dogs. All right, so here are your assignments. I think Bo will be taking over and telling you guys what it is. And yeah, that's it, okay? All right.
Thank you, Annabelle. Thanks again. Hi everyone. That concludes our lecture. Any questions for Annabelle before we let her go? About the class material, about the industry? Oh wow, that's
I know. Like,
full screen.
you should share your screen so that they can see the assignment.
Oh, okay. So I'll talk about an assignment just in a second. So Jack, you need to leave the computer audio. I hear my own voice.
Should I just quit the?
You can quit it too, but you can just click on audio and click on leave computer audio. Okay.
Alright.
Not doing anything better. But anyway, any questions, everyone? For those of you who are joining from home, you can type in Zoom. Questions about class material? I can't see someone who's raising their hands because I don't see everyone in the camera. So if not, then let's talk about assignment. Let me load it up. Okay. So this semester, I try to cut down assignments possible. So we ought to have assignment 5, 6, and 7, but I combined it into one. So which is just assignment 5, to make it easier for everyone. So as I mentioned last time, after this class, each of you with as a team will pick a project you wanted to do, and then we'll go through this design process internally with your potential users on your project and submit that along with sprint report. So can everybody see my screen now? Jack, can you see it? Give me a...
Yes.
Okay, good, thank you. See the and there are two types of projects you can pick. Internally, you decide it yourself and start working on it. Okay, so there's one which is engineering challenge. This is the engineering challenge website here. You can pick one of the engineering challenge, and you're building a product to help them facilitate to solve the challenge. Again, we are not here trying to resolve the problem ourselves. Instead, we build a website, web app that will help them collect more information, build a project management tool for them to help them resolve one of the engineering challenges. So if you do pick one of those engineering challenge, you will find 2 of your potential users who will use your product web application yourself. It cannot be one of your it can be a roommate, but it cannot be part of your group. So you need to find someone who's not in your group to be your user. Okay, so but that's up to you to decide together. And there are 2 more projects, which is my personal project. And if you like to work with me as your user or product owner, this is the 2 extra little project you can read up about it. One is Time Spark, which is a time tracking tool. The other one is the best corporate rate for hotel searching. Very simple. We like to keep it, again, we're not trying to build anything complicated for the entire semester, right? We want to build something real, useful, but go through the entire project management process. That's all. So these are the 2 other options. Each of you should decide, each of the group should decide it together and submit your, go through this design process and submit it as a group assignment at the end. Okay, take a look. And if you do have any questions, feel free to ask me or the TAs anytime. Okay. All right, that's our assignment for the day, and then also the projects. Any questions about the assignments or the projects?
I just wanted to double check. So you said this one is 5, 6, and 7 combined? Because right now it shows like on Brightspace that like 5, 6, and 7 are all due on the 17th. So I just wanted to like double check.
That, let me see.
Or it was like right on the last page you were on.
Okay.
On the right-hand side, it says 5, 6, and 7 are all due on the 17th.
Yeah, we'll delete them.
Okay.
Yeah. So we only have one assignment due for this week, which is assignment 5.
Thank you.
Do we do something for
I'll
the,
ask Diane to do. Sorry, go ahead.
do we need to do something for the sprint? Or the
Yes. Let me share that screen one more time. So we will, remember we have daily scrum, right? So you don't need to submit anything for the daily scrum. As long as you chat within Slack, then you're good. For the sprint, for this sprint, we'll talk about more about sprint next week, and after. For this particular assignment, we just need to submit the sprint report. Obviously, once we decide on the project, once you go through this user productization process, you should use Trello to track all the to-dos, right? The product backlog to-dos, and assign it to each of the individual who's going to do this, right? As long as you do that, remember the classic example I showed last time, you should have a sprint report where you can attach along with the project submission at the end of the sprint. Does it make sense? Did I answer your question?
yeah.
Okay. Other questions?
Excuse me. So, the sprint report should be submitted in group or personal?
Group.
Okay.
This is a group project, so only one submission per group. There we go. Okay, great questions. Any other questions? All right, everyone. Thank you. Thanks again, Annabelle. And hopefully I will be well recovered by next week. And I'll see you all in class next week. And don't forget, you ought to meet in group in person after class. So that's your class lab for today. Yeah. I will stop sharing. I will stop the Zoom meeting. You all go into group Zoom meeting yourself. And let me reclaim posts. All right, thank you. Chad, answer any questions if you can. I'm gonna stop this one now. And text me or call me if you need it. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Bye, Bo.
Bye. Thanks, Annabelle.